So I guess I get to have extra weird dreams now. Like, I've always had weird dreams, but they put me on a new medication, like duloxetine or something like that. And they told me that it could give me some, like, odd dreams. And I said I probably wouldn't notice because my dreams are kind of weird anyway. They're usually, like, nightmare induced, but that's besides the point. Well, this dream that I just recently had, I take it back. I think I'll notice. Because apparently, like, my dreams have always been, like, hyper detailed. I don't know why. They always have a lot of detail, which is fine. I don't really care. But it started off like I was, like, 19-ish, and the town I was in was behaving odd. Like, everyone was sketched out. Everyone was freaking out about, like, seismic readings and, like, weather and stuff like that. Like, something about, like, the world itself was kind of off, and everyone was freaking out about that. Well, I had gotten some email in the dream, and after I read it, it, like, deleted itself. And so I went to, like, the location in the email, which was, like, this, like, canal of water that, like, went out into the ocean. And when I got, like, under the water, and I had, like, a headset, and I was, like, talking to, like, some other kids my age, or other, technically adults my age, I guess, and I, like, got down into the water, and when I got under the water, there is, like, orcas swimming through the water, but they look weird. They don't look right. When I get closer, I see that they are, like, robots. Like, they are robotic orcas. And inside the robot orcas, there is people. There are people inside the robot orcas, but the people don't look right. Their eyes seem a little too big to be human. The way they smile, like the way their lips hinge together and stuff, didn't seem quite right. But they're all heading in the same direction, so I start swimming along, following the robot orcas, until I get to this underwater building. And I climb in through, like, this moon pool into, like, this rusted metal building. And I go into, like, one of the following rooms, and it's shades of red and gold, and there's, like, water dripping from the ceiling. And there's pools of black and, like, dark red on the floor, like blood and ink on the floor. And I keep moving forward. I can hear, like, music, but I can't tell what the music is. But I keep moving. I go to the next room, and in the next room there's an old man slumped in a chair with a wooden boat in his hand. Just like a wooden boat that's half painted in his hand. And I can't quite see his face. It's behind shadow. But I go and I start to approach the old man when a spindly woman with, like, white hair comes into the room and screeches, "Oh, for heaven's sakes, if she had been a snake, she would have bit you 10 times by now. Get up." And the man in the chair shakes himself away, just, "What? Huh? Where?" And he shoves, like, his glasses up his nose, and he has, like, white hair, and they also don't quite look right. Their eyes seem a little too big, their mouth doesn't seem quite right, or at least the man. The woman seemed a little more human, but the man didn't seem quite right. And they're kind of giving me, like, Beldam from Coraline vibes. It's freaking me out a little bit. And they're, like, talking to me, and they're, like, pushing me into a corner almost, like they just keep approaching until I'm in a corner. And they gave me the option to go with them. Like, to go with them, I had 24 hours to decide. I could go with them, but if I went with them, I could never return. I could never come back. I ended up deciding to go with them. They crushed, like, the intercom thing I was talking to the other people my age with. They, like, crushed it when they were talking to me. But I went with them. I got in, like, one of the robotic orcas, and we left. And when we resurfaced, we were in, like, a place full of snow and ice. And I remember being pissed off because the little people, like the people who were in the orcas, are just flying over the top of the snow. They're just running on top of the snow like hares, like snow hares, and not sinking into the snow. And I am like trudging my sorry ass through the snow. Well, when I come to find out later that I'm in like the North Pole, and that these odd-looking people are elves, and that's why they can run around on top of the snow. And I start working in like a bakery, and I'm making sweets, because apparently these elves live like strictly on sweets. And the old man I had met was Santa Claus. I apparently live in this village for like several years, and I end up getting married to Santa's son. Which Santa's son looks like some kind of like military dude with like white hair that's short, like cut short, and he has like a tattoo down his arm. I don't know what the hell's going on at this point, but I'm apparently engaged to Santa's son. I don't know why I'm engaged or married to Santa's son, but I'm married to Santa's son. And I end up having my own son that is named Zenek. Okay, I have a son named Zenek in this stream. Which I'm fairly certain Zenek is the name of a character in like the Ice Planet Barbarian books. But I have a son named Zenek. And then eventually like Santa and Mrs. Claus like pass away. And then me and my husband become, like over time, become the new Santa and Mrs. Claus. And I am in the same rusted building trying to convince certain people to come to the village to try and find somebody to like marry my son to, so that the Santa line can continue. And apparently everyone in the Santa line is born with white hair. They are all born with white hair. That is just how it is. And then I'm talking to like this brunette woman who has now agreed to come with us to the North Pole. And then I get woken up because the dogs need outside. Somebody needs to tell me, what the fuck was that? Why am I engaged to Santa's son? Or married to Santa's son? Why am I in the North Pole? What does robotic orcas have to do with anything?